Soup, take it away.
Hi, I'm wafflesoup, and this is Timespinner, indie Metroidvania made mostly by one person, Bodhi Lee. Hi, Bodhi. And today we're going to be doing the New Game Plus run. So we're going to start with a save file that has max level and starts with the dash. So we're going to go very fast and kill everything in one hit. And joining me on the couch today is Ducky.
Hi, I'm Ducky. I speedrun this game, but not this category. I do the any percent glitchless, but I'm here to support.
Yeah, thank you. So Griffin 1, I've already got that set up for the donation incentive. I think we're good to go here. We'll start when I hit A, so 3, 2, 1, go.
Alrighty. So as mentioned, we start with the dash, which is normally a thing that you get relatively close to the end of the game in a normal run. But the New Game Plus, you start with that, but every other necessary item for progression, you still have to go pick up and collect. One major thing that's going to happen right now, though, is we have this spell called Light Wall, which you can use as a platform. Normally, you need double jump to get to this area, and so rather than doing that, you just go and grab this security key card. There are 4 security key cards from D to A, and getting the B key card actually means we could skip the. Getting the B key card means you can skip the C and D cards because it just looks for whatever is your highest level card. So that's a nice little bonus that you get for New Game Plus, is that you can get that early. And other than that, there's not too much that's different in the routing, other than the fact that you are ridiculously strong, so everything dies in one hit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some stuff that, like some money routing, you don't have to do, or experience routing, so you just kind of get to hold forward and go fast. Yeah, so just coming up on the first boss here, that the community affectionately calls Boots, named after the cat that provided the voice for the Feline Century.
We won't be hearing it, of course, because it's already dead.
Yeah. It's a fun boss fight, though, when you're not killing everything in one hit. Yeah, it's a lot of, especially in New Game Plus, it's a lot of movement based. So it's just kind of keeping the flow going, as it were. Like the movement in this game is really nice, especially once you start getting some of the more some of the other relics that will give you more movement. So you get like a double jump at a later point, and that really opens things up.
Yeah, I say this speedrun is 20 minutes of fun, tight movement and one trick at the end. And if you mess up that trick, the run's over.
Do you mind if I jump in with a very special donation?
Yes,
go
please.
for it.
Thanks. We have $50 from Silver String Media, who says, "Hi, we're the script writers and narrative designers from Timespinner. We're so excited to be here at the start of Frost Fatales. We love the GDQ community. It inspired us to start streaming on Twitch ourselves. It's so awesome to see this game being run today. It is near to our hearts. It was such an honor to work with Bodhi on this amazing game and to help bring this epic story and characters to life. But we don't have time for any more words or plot right now. Gotta go fast. Good luck to Waffle Soup."
Lovely. Go down here, grab this warp gate that we'll use later. and go take care of the second boss, Varney, which is your favorite, Ducky.
Oh, yeah. So the next boss, Varndegroth, in the any percent category, at least for me personally, a very big reset point because he hits hard, especially when you're relatively underleveled. Can be annoying, but don't have to worry about that here because he's dead. Which is one of the nice things about New Game Plus is it's a bit of a catharsis category, especially if you play the any percent or the randomizer. Which this game has a really amazing randomizer if you're into those. But right now we're just going towards one of the major things of the game, which is there's actually two maps in this game, one in the present and one in the past. So we're going into the past now, which I think a bulk of the speed run is probably in this area. There are 3 lasers that are blocking us off from the end game area, which is in the present, and you have to defeat 3 bosses in the past in order to make those lasers disappear. So at this point, it's just going to... There's 3 bosses you have to kill, but 4 bosses total in this area that are... Well, I mean, you have to kill all of them, but only 3 of them are blocking the lasers.
But we're going to head towards the other one first, so we can go get the Twin Pyramid Keys, which is going to be our fast travel.
Yes. And I think this part's probably a good spot for 1 or 2 donations, if you have any.
Awesome. Definitely have some for you. I have $7 from Banquo, who says, is it too early for Timespinner 2 hype? And $50 from Wef Jebster, who says, let's go, Waffle. Also, hi, Waffle. Also, remember light wall skip. And $5 from Ari, who says, you got this, Waffle Soup. Love, Ari. Also, everybody, if this run is 20 minutes of, chill and then 1 crazy trick, we really need to get bids in there for that metal boss incentive for Kirby Squeak Squad. We are only $562 into that 2,000, so let's hurry it up and get that met.
Okay, so that was the Azure Queen.
And here's our Twin Pyramid Keys. So now we can get around much faster.
Yeah, and we got a brief glimpse of our next boss there. A couple little demons popped up, for plot reasons, which this game has a really good plot, which you're going to see approximately none of during the speed run. So I recommend going and playing the game. It's a pretty tight, 6-7 hour Metroidvania. Fun game. But we're going towards... So part of the reason we had to go to the left was to get the Twin Pyramid Keys, but also there's the classic castle with the drawbridge, and the drawbridge is up initially, but now the drawbridge has been put down, so you can actually get into the castle because the drawbridge is open.
Yep. That doesn't stop New Game Plus with Light Wall, but it's just faster to go get the Twin Pyramid Key.
Can't warp without it. There's items in this game called warp shards, which are they warp you to whatever the most recent warp room that you used was.
Oops.
And you'll notice that Waffle is swapping between different loadouts, which are, there's some for traversal, some for damage. Yeah. I think there's one that has the Colossal Hammer, which is usually killed for most of the bosses. I think that's what's used. Then there's Light Wall, which is for your traversal. And then the big spitty blades, which are the chaos blades, which are also help get through some more tightly packed areas.
Yep,
with enemies. But we're coming up against into the next fight, which again, like most fights, are going to be over very quickly. So that was a two-faced fight.
And we are rewarded with the Metroidvania classic of a double jump.
Yep. Which, technically speaking, you could get through the game without it because we have Light Wall, but you have to kill that boss. That's one of the bosses that you have to kill in order to unlock the end game area anyways, so you might as well pick it up. It makes it makes traversal a little bit less of a hassle when you have a double jump. Also makes the Light Wall skip at the end of the game possible. So.
Yes.
And just light wall stuff in general, a lot smoother. Like you saw there that Waffle used, did one jump and then placed the light wall and then did the second jump to go on top of the light wall, which helps with a lot of your vertical movement. So next boss is done. And then you saw the warp shard we used there. Now we have to take a little bit of a detour here because the next boss requires us to go underwater, and you can't go underwater normally. So we have to go pick up a water mask that will let us breathe underwater and go under the water. Which, you know, they didn't have that technology in the past, so we have to go a couple thousand years into the future and you know, just pick it up. And this is my favorite room in the game. It looks so cool when you have the Talaria attachment, which is the relic that gives you the dash.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I haven't really touched on it. There is a time stop mechanic in this game, which you'll see being used every now and then to, like, it will stop all of the enemies in the area, and then you can use them as platforms. It also just makes it traversing certain areas easier because you know where all of the enemies are. But the time stopping to get past enemies will be important in the next area. There's a few enemies that they're giant snails that you can time stop and then use their shells to get up and over them.
I think in theory I could time it right so I hit him with the scythe rings, but I haven't done enough practice to figure out how to do that yet, so.
Yeah. These little mushroom towers are annoying in the 80% run. But again, everything dies in one hit here, so we don't really have to worry about them. Also, shoutouts to the music in this game.
Yeah, Jeff Ball did an absolutely amazing job on the soundtrack. And is also working on the sequel.
So the next boss coming up is one of my favorite bosses, just because in the any percent speedrun, it looks like it's a very dangerous boss, but it's actually one of the easiest bosses in the game. So whenever I do runs of this game, I like to hype up how hard the next boss is going to be. But again, everything dies in one hit here, so you can't really you can't really hype things up in this game, in this category about things being difficult, because it's just going to die in one hit. So. But there's a little trick. You can time stop and then press yourself right next to the boss, and then none of its attacks can hit you. But that is the last boss that we had to kill to get rid of the barriers for the end game. So going to the end game.
Yep, laser gate was right here at one point, and now there's just a crash shift.
Yeah, which was a really cool like little subversion. Like if you go and check the gates, it'll be like one gate's gone, two gates gone, and then the third gate, rather than it just being gone, the entire thing was destroyed by a ship crashing into it.
That's probably my favorite part of the run, is that room right there. If you do it right, it looks so smooth.
Yeah. The time stop stuff can definitely like at least do some like really cool looking stuff. Like here, like using the time stop to prevent these little turrets from moving and using them as platforms. And then you can use your light walls and your double jumps to traverse over here. Using the time stop to stop the conveyor belt, so you can move faster along it. So now we're going towards the third last boss of the game, of the run, I believe.
I think so.
But this boss is important in that they drop the A key card, which you need the A key card in order to get the 3 items that you need in order to get the true ending, which this category does do the true ending. Also, you have to kill them anyways because they're a plot boss, and even if you're doing the any percent category, they block off the final area for where the final boss for that category is. But now we just go do a little the last little bit of cleanup, as it were. We just have to go collect the 3 gears of the Timespinner, which is the thing that lets you do the time travel stuff in order to get to the end of the game.
Well, since you are speeding through so quickly, can I read a donation for you?
Yeah,
absolutely.
This is probably a really good spot to do that.
I've got $18 from Mark Magus, who says, "Show us the new waffle." And I've got a couple of no comment donations, 2 $25 anonymous donations, and a $10 anonymous donation. So thank you so much for your support.
All right, so now we'll head into Zarian Cave, probably in the regular playthrough, the hardest area of the game, but it's all the same in this run.
Yeah, everything dies. Definitely probably one of the harder bosses when you're not in New Game Plus as well. Which is also a fun little like expectation subversion where the first 2 gears are locked behind just those one rooms with the eye spiders. I can't remember what their actual names are, but it is affectionately referred to as Spider Hell. And then the third one is not behind one of those corridors. It's actually behind a boss.
More giant snails to jump over.
Oh, friends, I just want to jump in and say we've hit another nice K milestone. We've got $4,000 now for National Women's Law Center with a $200 donation from Eric S. No comment, but thank you so much.
All right, so we have all 3 pieces of the Timespinner gear. Now we need to go back and use this Timespinner. You get one of 2 choices. for which enemy you want to face. Plot stuff. Again, play the game.
Yep.
Really good game. But the TLDR is that we've now broken time because we've created a time paradox. Which leads us into the last area of the game where, we're going to fight God, basically.
Yep.
And this is the area where the aforementioned alluded to light wall skip is. There is one area which is a very long drop down corridor. That the intention is you're supposed to drop down, and then there's a relic that lets you do an infinite dash upwards, and you're supposed to go and get that. But in New Game Plus, you have the light wall, which again you can use as a platform. So you just use that to skip the jump that is required there, which is coming right now. So I'm gonna shut up for a second.
There we
She
go.
nails it. So that is the one trick at the end of the run that was being talked about. And so now it's just going and fighting the final boss.
Which is a two-parter as well, and time will be on the second boss.
Yes. Also, one of the funniest bosses in this category is the first phase.
Yes. And time. So yeah, that's Timespinner. Exclamation points in chat, because after you beat the game, that's the first thing Luneus says.
Wow, that's done already. And actually,
Yep.
I have an exclamation point donation for you. I have $100 from Lunar Ray Games, who just says exclamation point.
Hey, thank you, Bodhi, the developer of the game.
Awesome, a dev donation.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Bodhi has been very great, very supportive of both the speedrunner and the randomizer communities. He actually, if I'm not mistaken, entered the most recent randomizer tournament that was done. It did very well for himself.
Yes. Uh-huh. But yeah, that's Timespinner. The New Game Plus run is very fast, very enjoyable. You should check it out. If you're at all interested, join the Discord community. It's a bunch of very lovely people. And as I said earlier, there's a sequel being developed. So go wishlist Timespinner 2 on Steam.
There's a trailer.
Yeah, very good.
Well, thank you so much, Waffles and Ducky, for that amazing run and awesome commentary. It went by just in a flash, but thank you so much, everyone. Put some more GGs and hype in the chat. So, speaking of hype, now we saw that last boss, and it just went by in a blink. But, the final boss of Kirby Squeak Squad is not going to be gone in a blink if we do our jobs right. If we meet the Metal Final Boss incentive, Kirby's going to be played as Metal against that final boss, and it is a little bit of a challenge. So I think you're really going to want to see that. We need $2,000, and we have $830 right now. So just so you know, you got to get those donations in. And I have a $25 donation from none other than Kirby. No comment. I think just giving us the side eye, wanting us to get that incentive met. And also a $50 donation from Bats. Thank you so much for your support. And we are going to take another quick break before our next run, which is, of course, Kirby Squeak Squad. So that's right. Hydrate like I need to right now. And get up, stretch, pet those cats, and we'll see you on the other side.
At the National Women's Law Center, our work reflects not just what we care about, but who we are. We are survivors. We are people who have had abortions, people who use birth control.
This is not a question. Abortion is healthcare.
We fight for reproductive freedom and for the right to live, learn, and work free from harassment and violence.
It is my deep honor to announce here tonight the launch of the Abortion Access Legal Defense Fund.
We fight against extremist efforts to dismantle the rights of those most vulnerable to oppression.
We have been working around a bill that would align Title IX's protections.
Because we belong to these communities. We are immigrants and women of color in a world where our communities work hard every day without equal pay.
It's beyond time our lawmakers take action to pass the Paycheck Fairness Act.
We are trans people and people with disabilities whose very existence is threatened by the law. We are queer people who deserve to live with joy, freedom, and dignity.
Queer people deserve equitable access to reproductive health care. We're suing one of the largest health insurance companies in the country over it.
We champion gender justice across the multitude of issues that impact the lives of women and girls.
This is really the moment to make a change in our policies and have the priority be investing in children, in families, and in workers.
We do not live single-issue lives as one or as a whole. We span generations and gender identities, race and religion. At the National Women's Law Center, our work is deeply personal. We're fighting for ourselves, and we're fighting for you. We're fighting for justice for all.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Frost Fatales 2024, benefiting the National Women's Law Center. My name is Savage Octagon. I am very excited to bring you our next run of Kirby Squeak Squad. Now, I talked a little bit to the runner, Beam Queen Soul, and she's been into the Kirby series since she was a kid and does all kinds of single ability runs and great other runs. And you know what would make her really, really happy? She would love to be able to show off that metal final boss. So if we make that incentive and we're a little less than halfway through, we're going to see the final boss of this game played with a metal Kirby, which is definitely a challenge. So we've got some fun donations, and I hope they go towards that incentive. I've got a $100 donation from Dodecalope, who says, no comment. And a $50 donation from Churlington Beastcoat III, Esquire, who says, GDQ events are my favorite times of year, and I especially couldn't ask for better accompaniment as I play my most anticipated game of the year, FF7 Rebirth. Well, thank you so much for having us along with you for your ride. And again, we hope those donations are going towards that incentive. Remember that on the donations page, you can see that little incentive button, and make sure it goes to this cool incentive. And just as I say that, we are a little bit over halfway there, and the run is ready. So everyone, get ready for Kirby Squeak Squad Any % by Beam Queen Soul. Soul, take it away.